Fighting with the swords, gone. Playing with the brain, on. Let's play Giraffe Chess Hattrick League Season 3.
International Giraffe Chess Federation presents Hattrick League Season 3 between 10 Proddatur teams. Hello everyone, welcome to India's new 68 squared Giraffe Chess Academy Proddatur, and welcome to the live telecast of no draws, no resigns, only win or lose in just 70 moves Giraffe Chess Hattrick League 2024 Season 3. Let us watch Giraffe Chess Hattrick League 27th match between Proddatur Spartans team versus Proddatur Lions team. Each team consists of 3 players. Whoever team allows opponent all 3 players is the match winners. Let us see the toss at the center of the court.
Yes, what you select? Head is the call from Proddatur Spartans. It is the heads. Proddatur Spartans, they won the toss. And what will elect? They elected to play first game on white side.
And in toss, Proddatur Spartans team, they won the toss and elected to play on white side. And here is the both teams lineup for Proddatur Lions team. Lohit is the opener and Ramcharan is the second player, and Dinesh comes to play as third player. And for Proddatur Spartans team, Tejas is the opener and Nawaz is the second player, and Jaswant will comes to play as third player. Now, let us watch first game of the match between Proddatur Spartans team opening player Tejas versus Proddatur Lions team opening player Lohit Reddy. Let us see among these 2 players who will win this game and who will do hat-trick and who will be the hat-trick hero of today's great match. Let us watch. Let us move on to the court. Young Scholar awardee Proddatur Spartans team opening player Tejas is ready to play on white side. Let us see on other side of the court. Best Scholar awardee Proddatur Lions team opening player Lohit Reddy is ready to play on black side. Now we can see both players are ready to start game 1 of the match. Black side player Lohit is ready to hit the clock. Yes, he hit the clock. Game 1 started.
Pawn to h3, pawn to e6, pawn to d3, knight to f6, pawn to e4, pawn to d5, pawn to f4, pawn capture pawn at e4, pawn to f5, pawn capture pawn at f5, bishop to g5, pawn to h6, bishop captured knight at f6, Giraffe captured bishop at f6, pawn to d4, pawn to c6, Giraffe to e3, Giraffe to c7, pawn to c3, pawn to f4, Giraffe to b4, Giraffe capture giraffe at b4. Pawn capture giraffe at b4. Bishop capture pawn at b4 and check to white king. King to e2. Queen capture pawn at d4. Queen capture queen at d4. Giraffe to e6. Queen capture bishop at b4. Knight to a6. Queen captured pawn to e4. Knight to c5. Queen captured pawn at f4. Pawn to b6. Giraffe to f3. Bishop to a6 and check to white king. King to e3. Rook to d8. Bishop captured bishop at a6. Pawn to b5. Giraffe captured giraffe at e6. Pawn captured giraffe at e6. Knight to e2. Rook to d3 and check to white king. King to f2. Rook to f8. pawn to g3, rook capture queen at f4, knight capture rook at f4, knight to e4 and check to white king. King to g2, rook to d4, knight capture pawn at e6, rook to a4, bishop to b7, rook to c4, knight to a3, knight to f6, rook to c1, rook to e4, knight capture pawn at g7 and check to black king, king to f8, knight to f6, rook to e2 and check to white king, king to f3, king to f7, king capture rook at e2, king to e6, rook to f1, king to d5, king to d3, pawn to c5, rook to e1 and check to black king, king to d5 illegal, knight to e4 illegal, king capture knight to f5, knight capture pawn at b5, knight to h5, king to c4, knight to f6, king captured pawn at c5, king to g6, king to d6, king to f7, king to c7, knight to d5 and check to white king, bishop capture, knight at d5, king to f8, king to d8,
Now we can see Tejas is
king to
just
f7,
one step away to
king
win
to
by
d9,
crowning. Yes,
crowning
he
win.
moved his king to d9 and won the game by crowning. What a superb crowning win to Tejas. Lohit out. Proddatur Lions team first player out. So with this win, Tejas he won the first game and still two more wins to do hat-trick and become hat-trick hero of today's great match. Let us watch second game of the match between Proddatur Spartans team opening player Tejas versus Proddatur Lions team second player Ramcharan Nayak. Let us see among these two players who will win this game and who will do hat-trick and who will be the hat-trick hero of today's great match. Among these two players, Tejas already won the first game and now playing for winning second game. Let us watch what will happen. Let us move on to the court. Proddatur Spartans team opening player, Young Scholar awardee Tejas is ready to play on black side. Let us see on other side of the court, Little Scholar awardee Proddatur Lions team second player Ramcharan Nayak is ready to play on white side. Now we can see both players are ready to start game 2 of the match. Black side player Tejas is ready to hit the clock. Yes, he hit the clock. Game 2 started.
Pawn to d4, pawn to e6, pawn to e4, pawn to d5, pawn to e5, pawn to f6, pawn captured pawn at f6, knight captured pawn at f6, bishop to e2, pawn to g6, knight to f3, pawn to e5, pawn capture pawn at e5, knight to d7, knight to h4, queen capture knight at h4, pawn to g3, queen to e7, bishop to f4, pawn to g5, bishop captured pawn at g5, queen captured bishop at g5, bishop to h5 and check to black king, king to d8, castling at king side, giraffe to e6, pawn to f4, queen to e7, bishop to g4, giraffe to d9, rook to e1, knight to b6, bishop capture bishop at c8, king capture bishop at c8, giraffe to d3, queen to c5 and check to white king, king to f1, giraffe to e6, queen to g4, queen to e7, giraffe capture giraffe to e6, pawn to c6, giraffe to b5 and check to black king, pawn capture giraffe to d5 illegal, knight to d7 illegal, king to c7, queen to c8 and check to black king, knight to capture queen at c8, giraffe capture rook at a8, queen to b4, pawn to c3, queen capture pawn at b2, knight to d2, queen capture knight to d2, rook to d1, queen captured pawn at a2, pawn to e6, bishop to c5, pawn to f5, bishop to f2, rook to e2, queen to a4, rook to d2, bishop to c5, pawn to f6, giraffe captured pawn at f6, pawn to e7, knight captured pawn at e7, rook captured knight at e7 and check to blocking, bishop captured rook at e7, rook to e2, queen to b5, king to f2, queen to b6 and check to white king, king to f1, rook to f8, rook capture bishop at e7 and check to blocking, knight to d7, giraffe to g1, queen to b5 and check to white king, king to f2, queen to c5 and check to white king, king to f3, queen capture rook at e7, king to g4, rook to g8 and check to white king, king to f5, giraffe to e9, giraffe to d2.
Now Tejas immediately moved
Queen
his
to
queen to
f6 and check to
f6 and
white king, and
set
it's a
check to white
checkmate.
king. It is not only check, it is a checkmate win to Tejas. What a superb checkmate win to Tejas. Ram Charan out. Proddatur Lions team, second player Ram Charan out. With this, Tejas, he won continuously 2 games and still need one more win to do hat-trick and to become hat-trick hero of today's great match. Let us watch third game of the match between Proddatur Spartans team opening player Tejas versus Proddatur Lions team last player Dinesh. Let us see among these two players who will win this game and who will do hat-trick and who will be the hat-trick hero of today's great match. Among these two players, Tejas already won continuously 2 games and now playing third game for doing hat-trick. Let us see what will happen. Let us move on to the court. Young Scholar awardee, Proddatur Spartans team opening player Tejas is ready to play on white side. Let us see on other side of the court. One-time Hattrick hero, young scholar awardee, Proddatur Lions team last player Dinesh is ready to play on black side. Now we can see both players are ready to start game 3 of the match. Black side player Dinesh is ready to hit the clock. Yes, he hit the clock. Game 3 started.
Pawn to d3, knight to f6, pawn to e4, pawn to d5, pawn to f4, pawn capture, pawn to e4, pawn to f5, pawn capture, pawn to d3, giraffe capture, pawn to d3, bishop capture, pawn to f5, giraffe to e3, bishop to g6, giraffe capture knight at f6, giraffe captured giraffe at f6, giraffe to g4, queen capture queen at d1 and check to white king, king capture queen at d1, bishop to h5, giraffe illegal, bishop to e2, knight to c6, giraffe to d5 and check to black king, king to d7, bishop captured bishop at h5, pawn to e6, giraffe to g4, pawn to g6, giraffe captured pawn at f7, knight to e5, giraffe to e4 and check to black king, king to e7, bishop to e2, giraffe to c5, knight to f3, pawn to h5, knight capture knight at e5, king to d6, knight capture pawn at g6, rook to h6, bishop capture rook at h6, bishop capture bishop at h6, pawn to b4, giraffe to f6, knight to c3, rook to g8, knight to h4, bishop to g5, giraffe capture pawn at h5, rook to h8, knight to e4 and check to black king, bishop capture knight at h4, illegal, king to e5, knight capture bishop at g5, giraffe to e9, knight to f7 and check to black king, king to f6, knight capture rook h8 and check to black king, king to g5, knight to f3, king capture giraffe at h5, knight to e5 and check to black king, king to g5, knight to f7 and check to black king, king to f6, rook to f1 and check to black king, king to e7, knight capture giraffe at e9, king to d6, knight to f7 and check to black king, king to e5, illegal, king to e7, castling at queen side, giraffe to c6, bishop to h5, giraffe capture knight at f7, bishop capture giraffe at f7, king to f8, knight to d7 and check to black king, king capture bishop at f7, illegal, king to e7, knight to e5, king to d6, knight to c4 and check to black king, king to d5, knight to e3 and check to black king, king to e4, rook to e1, king to f4, king to b2, pawn to e5, king to c3, pawn to e4, king to d4, pawn to c6, rook to f1 and check to black king, king to g5, king to e5, king to h6, king to e6, king to g7, king to e7, king to h8.
Now we can see Tejas is
King
just
to
one
E8,
step away to win by crowning.
king to g7,
Now he moved his
king
king
to
to
E9, crowning
E9
win.
and won the game by crowning. What a superb crowning win to Tejas. Dinesh out. Proddatur Lions team last player Dinesh out. With this out, Proddatur Lions team all out and lost the match. And Tejas with this win, he won continuously 3 games and did hat-trick and became the hat-trick hero of today's great match. And this is his first hat-trick in Hattrick League. Congratulations, debut hat-trick hero of today's great match, Tejas.
Hello everyone. Now, Proddatur Spartans versus Proddatur Lions. Now right now we are here to give away the Hattrick Hero T-shirt and cash prize for the today's match hero Tejas. Now, I congratulate Tejas and International Giraffe Chess Federation is giving away 500 rupees cash prize for the Tejas to become the Hattrick hero. Okay. Congratulations. Now, on this occasion, I would like to ask you few questions. Okay. So, in this very good and exciting match, you played very well, and in total 143 moves you did a hat-trick. The first player you out is Lohit by crowning 45 moves. In that, what is the best move that you would like to tell? By that only, I won the game.
తను 13వ మూలో తన క్వీన్ని సపోర్ట్ లేకుండా ముందరికి జరపడంతో నేను తన క్వీన్ని చంపడం వల్ల అదొక కారణంగా నాకు మారింది ఆ గేమ్ గెలవడంలో.
Very good. So that is the main reason how he won the first game. And the second game he played with Ramcharan Nayak by checkmate. Very good checkmate by 47 moves. So you played second game against Ramcharan Nayak. So he is also very good player. You out him by checkmate. So what is the best move?
తను 22వ మూలో కింగ్ ముందర క్వీన్ని పెట్టుకోవడంతో నేను క్వీన్కి ఎదురుగా రూక్ పెట్టాను. దానివల్ల అతను క్వీన్ కోల్పోయాడు. అలా నాకు ఆ గేమ్ గెలవడానికి అదొక కారణంగా మారింది.
Very good. So that is the second reason how he won the second game. And let us go to the third game. That is the hat-trick game for the Tejas, Proddatur Spartan player. He played third game with Dinesh. Crowning by 57 moves. So how you crowning you won that game. So what is the best move?
దినేష్ ఎలా పడితే చూసుకోకుండా అలా పవర్స్ని పెట్టడంతో నేను నేరుగా అటాక్లో దిగి వరుసగా తన పవర్స్ అన్ని చంపాను.
Okay, so that is the reason. First game and second game and third game, finally you became the hat-trick hero of today's match. Finally, I would like to ask you, whom you dedicate this very good match? You played very well. You out them all neatly. So, whom you dedicate? Anyone is there who support you and encourage you to participate in the Hattrick League?
మై బ్రదర్ విఘ్నేష్ సార్.
So, your brother. So, Tejas is having the other brother, elder brother Vignesh. He supported him to come and participate in this Hattrick League. So, once again, best wishes.
And finally, here is the today's hat-trick hero Tejas scorecard. In game 1, he outs Lohit by crowning in 45 moves. In game 2, he outs Ramcharan Nayak by checkmate in 47 moves. In game 3, he outs Dinesh by crowning in 51 moves. Totally, He did hat-trick in 143 moves. Congratulations hat-trick hero Tejesh and all the best for the next matches. And here is the points table of Giraffe Chess Hattrick League 2024 Season 3. Let us see what are the top 4 teams after finishing off 27 matches. Proddatur Chiruta's team with 10 points stands on first position. Proddatur Spartans team with 10 points stands on second position. Proddatur Kings team with 8 points stands on third position. Proddatur Jaguars team with 6 points stands on fourth position. Each team after playing 9 matches, final points are calculated for top 4 positions. Top 4 teams only qualify for the final playoffs.